now. The players are ready. So let's head on over to the stage, and we got a North American making it all the way to London. Of course, he is the two-time, one of the best trainers in NA. We have seen some other trainers win double regionals this season, like Lyle Jeffs and Dunebug, so it kind of overshadows what Rise.
From the wing attack and aerial ace as we move over to J Engineer's team. Having the Cresselia, and once again, Moonblast. It is a
occasion with the Skarmory led into the Vigoroth of J Engineer.
Now, Vigoroth is built a bit different this season because getting access to Rock Slide, it does a bit better here against the Skarmory, where before you were only doing resisted damage.
Yeah, and it looks like that backline, that Charger Bug really doesn't have a good place to go. If it matches up against the Swampert, you don't love to see that unless you get some kind of energy advantage. And then a key factor for Lickitung is just really good neutrally against that Charger Bug. You land the Sky Attack here, and now you have to get all the way that Rock Slide energy. You're at double Rock Slide. Vigoroth does just fine in actually protect shielding the first Rock Slide. I think Rise to Occasion's gonna let the next one go and try to go for a Steel Wing down.
Now, this is a really interesting play right here by Rise to Occasion, is giving up that shield early, and this can be a tell. I always like to say, look at what your opponent is doing and not doing. This can be a tell that there is a Lickitung in the back.
Right, and you're able to get that full Steel Wing down, and Rise to Occasion is very comfortable in these situations, knowing how all the ways the lead can play out, and I love the way he played that. He was able to use a shield, but I think he's actually going to get a Protect Shield back. No, actually no Protect Shield on the Charger Bug, and actually for J Engineer, that's a good play because the Charger Bug didn't really have anywhere to go. Do you try to go for the Swampert Munchshot down? That is way too risky, so I think, actually does go for the Swampert here, but you're going to have to take some X Scissors as well.
Okay, so now we're going to see a Mudboy versus Mudboy, Swampert versus Whiscash, and Whiscash with the recent update. We're going to see who's the top water ground.
And he actually just swaps into the Whiscash here, trying to avoid some kind of a fast attack down, but I think he was out of range here and actually gets the first Protect Shield. It makes sense because you definitely want to try to get that Scald debuff, but this is why Swampert can beat Whiscash sometimes, because you're just outpacing, but you're already in range of Mud Bomb, so you could already just throw that Mud Bomb. Do you Protect Shield on the Whiscash? Yes, you use the Protect Shield.
This was a crucial Hydro Cannon right there, because now Lickitung in the back is free. Absolutely free to go for the Power Whip, and it doesn't matter how strong your Scald is, a Power Whip will knock you out.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you thought maybe Shadow Swampert, that's my most efficient use of my shield, right? It does so much damage with those Hydro Cannons, but yes, there is a Power Whip available, and it doesn't matter if you get that debuff because you are a Shadow and you take double super effective damage from that Power Whip. So if the timer come back up, I don't think you can get there, Zion. I don't think you can get there.
Yeah, Lickitung is sitting happy, Rise to Occasion, consistent and strong in his gameplay, able to knock out the Whiscash right here as the Power Whip will KO, and then it's just going to be a couple fast moves. But Charger Bug wants to fight the good fight, but ultimately one Body Slam will take care of it.
And here comes that Body Slam. It is available on fast attack alignment, but it didn't matter because this is going to knock out anyway to knock out that Charger Bug, and Rise to Occasion takes that game #1 victory. And I want to point out right here, we've been this game #2 at the 2024 European International Championship. Same lead, Vigoroth, but changed up the flyer. Instead of the Skarmory, now you are the Gligar, but Vigoroth actually can do okay in the one Protect Shield situation versus Shadow Gligar. That's why some trainers have brought it instead of Annihilate.
Now, if we take a critical look here at the backlines, Charger Bug in Game 1 really didn't have any play. In Game 2, it does.
Yeah, you see the back line, two things weak to that Charger Bug, and Charger Bug is in the back, so how are you going to be able to deal with that? You actually would rather deal with it with the Skarmory. Both of the fast attacks are going to be resisted, but at least you can get to some Brave Bird action and then maybe dip out. Here comes the dig into Vigoroth, but this is going to be really tough, honestly. Charger Bug, 2 shields, it's going to be so brutal for Rise to Occasion in the back line.
Yeah, especially since Rise is forced to give up a shield here to maintain switch advantage, as that Body Slam would be knocking out, and that's why Vigoroth is such a good pseudo fighter in this meta.
Yeah, and here comes the alignment that Rise was going for, but the alignment doesn't matter as much, and I love coming in and soaking here. Obviously, you're not going to soak anything on Charger Bug because you're not going to try to Volt Switch down. That would just be too tough. So you soak the dig here. You're going to probably have to soak another dig, and then maybe once you take this energy, then you can unleash the Charger Bug. I like how Rise got a little bit over energy, but I still expect either a Grass Knot or unleash the Bug.
Yeah, I say unleash the Bug. Give it 2 shields, and let's see what it can do. You've been talking it up that it's the best electric in NA, and let's see what it can do here in EU as it gets... No! Oh, the aerial ace at the last second is able to come through.
Yeah, and he actually shielded it too, which aerial ace isn't the strongest attack, so that is a huge swing from Rise to Occasion here. Now you have that Charger Bug, but it is down to Protect Shield, and you have 2 Pokemon to try to go at it, and you need to get a Protect Shield here. Do you try to bait with the Icy Wind to then ensure you get a debuff? You definitely need the Protect Shield. Here comes the Protect Shield. This is a crucial call. If Rise decides to bait, and then what J Engineer decides to do with his Protect Shield.
I think what's great here with J Engineer is the fact that Cresselia is still in the back line. And what that means is when you get debuff from Icy Wind is you can clear it. You can get into that Cresselia, especially if you're looking to catch a charge move and you do have the count on Skarmory.
And can you get back to your timer? Because you can double discharge here and then try to swap on a Brave Bird. Double discharge is probably not going to be enough, but it's going to be really close. Remember, it was Icy Wind debuff. Let's look at the dimensions. Is it going to be enough?
Oh,
it's almost enough.
Oh.
I think it's short. I think it's short.
I think it's short, and Rise has to time this perfectly. This is all going to come down to this critical moment here in Game 2.
He's going to wait for a Volt Switch to come through and then throw. Here comes the Volt Switch coming through. Great patience from Rise to Occasion to ensure that the fast attack is coming through before you unleash the charge attack. But you Brave Bird, can you get Psycho cut down?
But Cresselia has energy!
And
the Psycho cut down because of the Brave Bird debuff. Poliwrath is unshielded, no energy, and the Moonblast is going to be coming through, blasting away this Poliwrath.
And that is going to secure the knockout in game number 2 for J Engineer, and we're all tied up here.
Oh my goodness, what a beautiful battle.
And it is going to be the decisive game number 3. Let's check out if J Engineer did bring that Charger Bug, and here comes the Vigoroth lead. That is 3 straight games with the Vigoroth lead. Rise sniffed it out and brought the Shadow Poliwrath.
Oh man, this is going to be an intense game. Poliwrath has an incredible matchup here, and there is a Dugong instead in the back.
Yeah, ABA weak, right? You're weak to fighting in both positions. You have, and look at this, actually going for the Protect Shield because I think Rise to Occasion registered. If you're staying in with Vigoroth, you are weak to Poliwrath in the back. So able to go ahead and go for the counter down, but actually feared that the next Body Slam would be available, so through the Icy Wind.
Now, I will say, right, it's a beautiful read here by Rise. Understand, like, in no other circumstances would a Vigoroth stay in that matchup unless you were double weak, right? Your core broken because you have, like you said, the ABA formation, the Vigoroth, the Cresselia, and the Dugong. Now, Cresselia coming in right here has a great opportunity to do what it did in Game 2, and that is soak damage and apply good coverage.
No debuff, and actually no swap, because Rise actually guarantees that he knows Poliwrath is good in the back. I think he was almost thinking about shielding there. He knew it was good in the back, decides to not do it, and then throws in the Gligar. He was expecting the Dugong in the back, and now he's going to be aligned with the Dugong. And the problem is the Dugong does have a Protect Shield advantage, and if you can get through this Lickitung and just put any pressure on that Shadow Gligar, you see Rise shaking his head a bit, scratching. I think he is a little distressed. I think if Dugong double Protect Shields, Rise is in a ton of trouble.
Yeah, and this is where the mind games are at, right? Rise made a beautiful read. Let me shield the Poliwrath. He's ABA weak, but then I think he second-guessed himself and let it go down when he saw the Cresselia, thinking, oh, it might just be another Charger Bug. And that is a crucial decision for this game. And what's great is Dugong in this situation, the 2-to-1s here against Lickitung, you just go straight Icy Wind, and you were sitting so good.
Yeah, and you just try to Protect Shield the right thing, and you have 1 Protect Shield remaining. Do you try to go for a desperate bait here? And no, going for the Power Whip, and the Power Whip is going to be coming in. Do you get the Protect Shield from J Engineer? You already are debuffed, and there is the Protect Shield. I love that Protect Shield. Both the timers are almost up, but this Dugong is going to be able to just get to the Icy Wind before. Are you going to be able to bank a Power Whip? No, doesn't even try to bank the Power Whip, just throws the Poliwrath, but how are you going to get through this Dugong?
Dugong now is free to farm down. He was guessing there if he should throw the Icy Wind, and now it is a free farm down, and Dugong is 1 Ice Shard away from double Icy Wind, and unfortunately, the Shadow Gligar, because of this debuff, is not going to be able to knock out with an Aerial Ace.
Yeah, you have to get the dig, and you just can't get the dig, because like you mentioned, 1 Ice Shard away, and that is going to be the crucial knockout, and it looks like the Europeans aren't going to let any North Americans take any of their championship points, because J Engineer is going to be able to clean up this in reverse sweep Rise to Occasion with this Grass Knot.
Talk about composure, right? You're facing off against Rise to Occasion, and you had a really tough game 1, right? And then you make a comeback with Charge Bug, and then you outplay your opponent in the mind games of, I'm going to run Charge Bug game 3, aren't I? No, it's a Dugong, and he played it to a T.
and it looks like the competitors are discussing something a little bit. I'm not sure if they're trying to go anything to review, but they did take off their headsets there. So looks like this is Jay Engineer reverse sweeping this series in, like you mentioned, the bold prediction on that game number 2, because they're one that is weak to the Poliwrath, and then in the end you're able to finish off that Dewgong with your low health Poliwrath to ensure then your Gligar doesn't meet that Dewgong in the back. So the fact that he recognized that it was ABA weak and secured the lead matchup, but then didn't pivot, is the thing I think Rise to Occasion regretted the most.
Yes, I 100% agree. And the thing is, that is not all we're going to see of Rise. This is double elimination. Rise is going to be able to come back and rise to the occasion, if I do say so myself. And these are some beautiful plays that we saw right here, right? Cresselia doing what it did, loading up on a lot of energy, soaking damage, and able to get the knockout there in game 2 to secure the flip of momentum, as we like to say. And the Dewgong here able to get the final knockout for game 3 against the Shadow Gligar.
Yeah, and that's, I think, Rise knew it early on in that matchup. You see that signature head scratch there, where I think he would have much rather brought in that Lickitung pivot, but Jay Engineer, I think, brilliant adjustment game number 2, and then clean gameplay game number 3.